Chapter 19. How come they seem so lovely right now? 19. How come they seem so lovely right now? Over the years, it's been difficult with our partner. There has been such a long history of harsh words, accusations, insults, shouting, slammed doors, resentments, and aggressive silences. Let's imagine that it all culminated in a decision to leave. It took us 4 years to reach this conclusion, or perhaps even longer. There were hours of conversations with friends, therapists, and a lawyer or two. We certainly haven't jumped into this. We made the awkward announcement a few months ago and faced a long period of the partner's hurt and anger. There were some truly horrible scenes, but things have calmed down. The end has turned into a quiet, melancholy, and well-accepted fact on both sides. We're moving out imminently. Things are ready with the new apartment. It's the last weekend, and we're having a farewell drink before supper. This is when we start to realize something at once puzzling and a little embarrassing. We acknowledge that we have started to find our about-to-be ex-partner, from whom we have struggled with every sinew to separate at enormous cost and inconvenience, distinctly charming. They're wearing a pair of shoes we like them in. There's a fascinating thing they do with their eyes when they hold their head on one side and shoot a glance at us. We sense their inherent kindness in the way they discuss a mutual acquaintance. Their dignity and intelligence is present in their manner of arranging objects around the living room. They say something wry and sharp about an idea they've read in the paper. Their mind is very fine. They're lovely. We want to touch their hair, stay longer, unpack the bags, maybe talk to them once. We feel we're having a change of heart at the last moment. We appear to be on the cusp of realizing that we've made a terrible mistake. It's bizarre and contrary to everything we could have predicted, but we're experiencing a powerful attraction to the person we've done everything to try to leave. What is going on? Is it a genuine reawakening of love and evidence that, if we were to cancel our plans and move back together again, we would now be much happier? Or is this a devilish delusion arising from a temporary mental imbalance with no impact on reality? We might decode our feelings as follows. We are developing a last-minute crush on the person we're leaving. A classic literary description of a crush can be found in the Russian writer Ivan Turgenev's novel The Torrents of Spring, published in 1872. It tells the story of a man who goes into a bar to get a glass of mineral water on the way to the station on a warm spring day. The woman who serves him has delightful hair, a lovely smile, and she opens the bottle with unusual grace. He instantly feels he's in love with her and envisages a blissful future for them together. He abandons his journey and books into a nearby hotel so he can be with her all the time. After 2 days, he decides he must marry her. But after 3 days, he's realized it was all a terrible mistake, and he runs away and never sees her again. Although crushes are almost universally associated with the very start of love, in reality they can unfold just as intensely at love's near-end point. In honor of Turgenev's book, we might call our experience with our departing lover an autumn crush. The essential feature of crushes in both their spring and autumn varieties is that, while under their sway, we are not attempting to engage too deeply with the reality of the other person. We are standing outside, peering in respectfully. We are not trying to run a household, get this person to agree with our opinions on politics or family, sex or work, or asking them to love us in a specific way. We're not bringing any of our demands to bear on them, we're merely looking. And from this unpressured vantage point, we register the presence of a properly fascinating and sincerely delightful person. This is a fair judgment on another human, if not necessarily on our chances of being able to maintain a happy relationship with them. Unfortunately, there are many more lovely people in the world than there are ones we might be able to live contentedly alongside. Although they can seem like ambitious endeavors, crushes are secretly fueled by the lowest of expectations. When we are thinking obsessively of a new person, our demands are running in the background at almost zero. We would be overjoyed if they simply answered our phone call and agreed to see us again. We would feel blessed beyond measure if they held our hand for a minute. We are at an apogee of modesty. But the more the relationship succeeds, the more the criteria on which we judge its success expand. 2 months in, we might consider it infuriating or tragic that the partner doesn't want a certain kind of sex with us, misunderstands our family, puts forward a contrary opinion on a friend, or has clashing taste in interior decoration. We can end up having to finish a relationship, not because the partner is awful per se, but because they are disappointing in relation to the elevated expectations for mutuality that we have brought to bear on them over time. However, it would be unfair to these expectations to dismiss them automatically as pathological or overly demanding. From an objective point of view, they might be entirely legitimate. It is no sign of madness to want to be understood deeply. It does not have to be a delusion to seek out connection and good communication. Our partner might be accomplished in many ways and still not be the person we should be with. During our late crush, we are rediscovering what's nice about someone, not, as we might get muddled into thinking, rediscovering why it might be good to be with them. If we have decided to leave a partner but suddenly find we desire them once more in the last moments, we should beware of thinking ourselves back in love. We are merely enjoying an artificial rush for someone because we are, finally, on the outside looking in. This is a sign that we have, in a deep part of our souls, finally given up hope of ever trying to live with, or be happy alongside them.